more than 2,000 years before Rome was ever built, before the sun rose on Greek civilization, at a time when most of the world lay in the shadows of oblivion, a great civilization rose along the banks of an eternal river. A civilization that didn't just strive to survive, it aimed for immortality. It built monuments that touched the stars with astronomical precision, and it wrote its secrets in golden symbols. This isn't just a story from history. It's the tale of ancient Egypt, the land of pharaohs, and a legacy that still lives on among us.
To understand Egypt, we must understand the Nile. It all began here. The Egyptians called their land Kemet, meaning black land, after the fertile silt brought by the annual flood. In contrast, Desheret, the red land of the arid desert, was a world of chaos and death. This disciplined annual rhythm of flooding, planting, and harvesting allowed the Egyptians to achieve a tremendous food surplus. This surplus freed hands and minds, allowing for the emergence of specialized classes: priests who read the will of the gods, scribes who administered state affairs, and engineers who would transform the face of the earth. Around 3100 BC, a legendary king named Narmer or Menes united the two lands, north and south, under one sacred crown. From this moment, the first unified nation-state in history was born, with Memphis as its capital, and the era of dynasties began, the age of the pharaohs who would rule Egypt for 3,000 years.
With the unification of the country, the Old Kingdom began, the age of the god-kings. Their greatest obsession was victory over death. During the reign of King Djoser, around 2670 BC, the genius architect Imhotep, considered the first engineer and physician in history, built the first colossal stone edifice, the Step Pyramid at Saqqara. But that was just the beginning. The obsession with immortality reached its peak in the Fourth Dynasty on the Giza Plateau. The Pyramid of Khufu, the largest structure erected by man until the 19th century, is not just a pile of stones, but an astronomical and engineering masterpiece. But the age of giants did not last. Droughts and the growing influence of provincial governors led to the collapse of central authority, and Egypt entered its first dark period around 2181 BC.
After centuries of chaos, Egypt rose again, stronger than ever. It learned from the Hyksos invasion, absorbing their deadly military technologies such as chariots and composite bows, and transformed from a backwater state into a conquering empire. In this era, the New Kingdom, the powerful Queen Hatshepsut ruled, declaring herself pharaoh around 1478 BC. She ruled peacefully and sent a legendary trade expedition to the mysterious land of Punt. Then came the rebellious pharaoh Akhenaten, who attempted the first religious revolution in history around 1353 BC, calling for the worship of a single god, Aten, the sun disk. But his revolution was short-lived. After his death, the old gods were restored, and the golden pharaoh Tutankhamun came, who was not important in his time, but the discovery of his intact tomb in 1922 by Howard Carter revealed to the world treasures no one had dreamed of. Pharaoh who embodied Egypt's power and its greatness, it was Ramses II. He ruled for 67 years, fought the Hittites in the Battle of Kadesh around 1274 BC, and immortalized himself as the greatest builder in the history of Egypt, from the temples of Karnak to Abu Simbel. But even the greatest empires must set. The invasions of the Sea Peoples around 1177 BC and internal strife exhausted Egypt. Invaders followed, Libyans, Nubians, Assyrians, and Persians, who ruled it harshly. until Alexander the Great came in 332 BC, whom the Egyptians welcomed as a liberator. After his death, his Greek generals ruled Egypt as pharaohs, establishing the Ptolemaic era. The last and most famous of them was Cleopatra VII. She was not just a queen, but a clever politician, linguist, and skilled diplomat who tried with all her might to preserve the independence of her kingdom in the face of a rising Rome. But the world was changing rapidly. After her defeat at the Battle of Actium in 31 BC and her tragic fall, the last page in the history of pharaonic Egypt was turned, and Egypt became a mere province of the Roman Empire.
The reign of the pharaohs ended more than 2,000 years ago. But did ancient Egypt really die? Their legacy is present in our museums, in our architecture, in our medicine, and even in the annual calendar we use today, which is based on their precise solar calendar. They left behind more questions than answers, more miracles than explanations. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and become one of the residents of this city, History City. And don't forget to share the video with all history lovers.